On. Oh, and there we are. We are live. Boom.
That was more like 10 seconds.
It was. That was a little too fast. I don't know what happened there. It should have been a 50-second countdown, but because it was 1 minute. But anyway, well, welcome to this special edition of the Casual Shooters podcast with special guest Joon Kim. How you doing, June?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You're always welcome to be on.
Thank you.
So, before we get into the meat, I do have a couple of questions because the last time we talked, there were two things you mentioned that I specifically want to bring up. One, you said you would love to go to the World Shoot, but you'd have to take like 2 weeks off, so you'd basically have to quit your job. So, do you still have a job?
Yeah, I still do.
Okay.
Yeah, I feared that taking that many days off would jeopardize my full-time job, but they were very understanding, and I was able to go. Yeah, so I'm
Awesome.
very glad. Yeah.
It was pretty short notice, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, a little over a month. Yeah.
Yeah. Not like you've been planning for it for 5 years.
Right. And that kind of shows to people who planned it for a long time, they had good results.
I don't think fourth is a bad result.
It's not, but it was just so close to getting a medal, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now the second one I have, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more later, but we talked about frostproof, and you were like, you didn't like Sebring. There was no food worth eating in that area, so I assume Thailand was much better for food.
Oh yeah. Uh, they definitely had tons of options, but
So
um,
maybe we should hold nationals in Pattaya, Thailand.
that would have been nationals then.
We'll call it internationals.
Okay.
All right. So how did you how did you go from our talk and
Yeah.
you not going to World Shoot at Nationals to a month later finding, going? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I, really wanted to go. Uh, US gets tons of slots for a lot of big IPSC matches.
Oh,
And obviously, some people they have to pull out last minute or last few months before the match. Someone did. Uh, so I emailed, I first emailed Heather at USPSA to see if there's any open slots because I did hear from one of the U.S. sponsors that was going to the World Shoot that there's got to be a lot of slots available or a few slots. So I emailed Heather. She said there isn't any slots, and then a few weeks goes by. Uh, Yimin sends me an email. He saw my request uh, to uh, to see if there's any slots, and he said, "Oh, someone pulled out. You should be able to get in." So, uh, via Yemen's help, I was able to participate.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will say I commented on I forget whose video it was, but someone had posted a video on Instagram about the opening ceremonies, and I was like, there's enough people from the U.S. to populate a small town.
Hmm.
There seemed to be a large congregation of you. I think I counted like 50 shooters from the U, or at least it looked like 50 different Americans with the U.S. jersey on.
Yeah, I think that's about how many I saw too. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. A lot of US shooters. We get a lot of slots because, we have a lot of good shooters.
Now, how does one, obviously, you can win a slot, get selected to be on the team. But
Yeah,
the teams are, from what I saw, that which was shared to me, each team was only four people.
yeah. So the way IPSC works is four people on each team, and they draw three out of four best scores to determine the team win. So that was determined a long time ago, like two plus years ago, for all the
Right.
teams. But you can still shoot IPSC matches as an individual, which a lot of people, most people did go as individuals, and I was one of them.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I mean, I'm looking one, two, three, four, five, six. Looks like they had six teams, so that would be 24 people. But that means there were 26 other shooters who were just
Yeah,
shooting individually. Okay.
yeah.
So how do they divvy? Do you know, after having talks with Yi Min and them, how do those 50 slots get divvied up? Do you know?
What do you mean by divvied up?
Well, how do they get so obviously you shoot certain matches and you get selected to go to the
Yeah,
world shoot and
yeah.
represent the team. So I assume those 24 people were selected based on match.
Yeah,
Um,
so the criteria are you have to, I don't know the exact criteria, but you have to shoot uh, IPSC nationals multiple times, and you have to have some major match records like USPSA nationals, and they combine those records and uh, do the run their math and run the selection process.
okay, so for the other 26 individual shooters, how do they get selected? Do you know?
You can just apply, apply to shoot the match, as far as I know, and I don't think there's a specific requirement.
Okay.
I think you still have to shoot pretty decent, but I'm not aware of it because I was an anomaly. I joined last minute, and yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like Shane Coley didn't go, did he?
No, he didn't.
So he was a last minute dropout, I guess.
Oh, really? He planned on going and he didn't go?
Yeah, because Matt Nash sent me what he had from the USA team, and he was supposed for standard. It was supposed to be Nils, Shane, Blake, and Gorka
Oh, I see. So I think Tim, Tim Yackley, he shot standard.
replaced.
I
Right.
see,
He.
I see.
I wonder if he
Yeah.
took Shane's spot then.
Okay,
So it's
that's
just
nice.
little things like that that are interesting.
That's nice. It's always one thing I learned. I'm a little bit ahead. One thing I learned is you do want to shoot as a team when you go out to shoot these IPSing matches.
Is that so you can discuss it while you're there on each stage, or why is that?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. As an individual, you're just placed in a squad full of strangers. For me, that happened. I I was put in a just a random squad, partly because it was last minute. I really wanted to shoot the PDL team or PDL squad, but it was completely full, and they tried to fit me in. They're like, "Hey, if somebody doesn't show up, we'll just put you in, like no problem." Just like, you know, USPSA matches, like they can just kind of like switch you around.
Right.
But yes, if you have a teammate or teammates that can actively discuss, and if you're part of the team, you're probably a decent shooter or a really good shooter.
Right.
So there's a good chance that you can kind of see them shoot first and sort of learn
Mm,
the timing of the stages because you don't really get to see the stage run a whole lot of times at IPSC. Yeah,
and
so
for the
yeah.
and for those people that aren't familiar with IPSC, like you can't get there early and walk the stages. You can only see it what the day of shooting if you have a second to get
Now,
to the
you
stage.
you can go there many days before the day one, but they have a fence. Maybe they kind of puts you back uh, maybe 10, 15 yards from the stage. Like they have a
Okay,
fence. Yeah, so you can't go beyond that fence.
so you
So
can't walk the stage.
yeah, you just kind of observe it from a distance. That's what you
Okay.
get. But the biggest thing that I noticed is there's a lot of moving targets, and you have to activate all these moving targets. And a lot of times, because I didn't get to see it ahead of time, uh, I didn't know the timing of it. So I had a good stage plan, but the sequence of engagement was not ideal. So a lot of times I would, activate and I try to shoot the moving target, but the timing is so off that I see the target disappear and reappear. So there was
Mm,
a lot of lost time from not knowing the perfect sequence of engagement.
okay.
Yeah,
And
but if
and
I
you
if
were
I if I shot that on a team, I can kind of see the teammate do that, run the similar stage plan, and realize what the best timing and sequence is. Yeah.
now were you not able to figure that out watching the other international shooters, or were they just not at a high enough level? Because there were a lot of shooters there. That doesn't mean they were all
Yeah.
GM class shooters.
Right. Right. So there were some good shooters on my in my squad, but they had significantly different stage plan or different enough that I could not find their stage runs useful before I go. A lot of
Okay.
times, some helped, but some of them didn't, and yeah, it was the timing that really hurt. Yeah, incorrectly
Okay.
timed shots. Yeah, so
All
it
right.
is important to be on a team if you're shooting IPSC World Shoot.
Makes sense. All
Because
right.
they can actually help you. This is another big topic. Uh, I heard it was different in the previous World Shoot, but in this World Shoot, they really wanted to make sure the pace of match flow and the process went as fast as possible and smooth as possible. So they actually decided that they would start pasting as soon as they can. So like you
Oh.
shoot a couple targets and you move up into the range, they'll start scoring pacing, just like kind of like a local match. So if you had teammates, they could check the targets for you while you're shooting, but I didn't have that, so I'd like to say that was that put me at a disadvantage.
Okay. And that explains the video you posted where you were putting your
Yeah.
scores on each target, and then all of a sudden it was like question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark,
Yeah.
because you didn't know.
Yeah, I don't get to see any of them. I just get to see like basically as I finish, I see what's in front of me, and what's behind me. I don't get to see any of them. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They
All right.
really didn't have to rush it because so it's 5 days, and each day we're done in way ahead of time. So they allotted they started at 6:30 a.m. For the morning squads, and they start their PM schedule at 12:30. So we had like full 6 hours if we needed. minus the lunchtime for staff. So we we had 6:30 to 11:30. So that's is that 5 hours?
Yes.
But we finished in sometimes 3 hours, sometimes less than 3 hours. So we would just be going at a really fast pace. So we had like two
Okay.
hours extra before, 2 to 3 hours extra time before the next squad started shooting. So they didn't have to rush the whole process. But yeah,
So are you saying your first shot was at 6:30 in the morning?
yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you would have to get there early then for, say, the match briefing that morning, or did
They
they
just
even have
start.
that?
They just start. I think they start briefing exactly at 6:30. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Well, let's back up for a second. So Yeemin informs you, hey, we do have a slot.
yeah.
How, how obviously you're excited, but at the same time you're like, oh crap, I don't have reservations for anything. I don't
I
know.
know. Yeah.
So walk me through what that looked like and how
Oh,
that went, because that's
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be crazy chaotic.
Oh, yeah. It was. It was. I almost forgot how like chaotic it was, but
You're welcome for me bringing it up.
but yes. Yeah, yeah. Yimin, he said, "Oh, June, we might have a slot. You should start looking for tickets." And I have to still get the confirmation that I'm in. Uh, and I was cutting really close because I have to book hotel, I have to book
Yes.
transportation,
Mm-hmm.
plane tickets. Plane tickets the biggest thing because they just go up in price, you know, every day.
Right. The closer you get, yeah.
Yeah, so Eamon and I are actively exchanging texts like, "Hey, is today a good time to buy the plane tickets?" And he's like, "Hold up just a little bit." So we inch closer to the match date. So that was very stressful. Another thing was, so I don't recommend anybody to shoot last minute unless unless they really want to go.
So you're saying if you have 5 years to plan, take 5 years to plan.
Yeah, as long far back as possible. Another thing was you have to get gun permits from the host country,
Mm-hmm.
and IPSC. So Eamon compiled all the necessary information like passport, my name, address, uh, the guns with all the serial numbers. He submitted to IPSC, and we didn't hear back for like 2 weeks straight. Like there was
Oh
just no
no.
response. So like he would send email like almost every day to check like, hey guys, any updates? So they were busy, they're probably really busy preparing for the match. So we didn't hear anything back. So maybe 3 weeks before the match started, I actually, thanks to Raymond from Tachyon, he said, "Oh, hey, there's a Facebook page for THPSA, Thai Practical Shooting Association. That's basically the um, USPSA equivalent of um, organization in Thailand.
Okay.
There's a Facebook page, and they're very active. Like they there's a match director or a regional director who really took care of a lot of the gun permit problems and the ammo orders. A lot of people just didn't get their ammo order receipts for some reason for the ones that are shooting the match ammo at the host country. So I went onto the website, I'm sorry, Facebook, and I messaged the regional director. Hey, just wanted to make sure the status of my yeah, gun permit because that's very important. If you don't have the permit, you can't bring your gun. It's game over.
Mm.
And he's like, "Oh, what's your shooter number?" and I give him my information, and he's like, "Oh, you're not bringing your gun, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I submitted the gun permit." And he's like, "Oh shoot, you're in trouble."
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so like none of the paperwork was actually given to the THPSA.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
so he's like, "All right, give me all your information." So I send him all of my information on Facebook chat, and he's like, "All right, I'll expedite this, like take care of this." Took him 3 days to get return the gun permit. So that was very fast. So I got my gun permit, and I'm like, okay, this is good. You know, that was the green light, final green light, and I started booking everything. Yeah. So
Well, I
very
mean,
stressful.
did you have any difficulty making any of the reservations because it was so soon?
Well, hotel wise,
Yeah.
at the time, no, because it was held in Pattaya, the match, and Pattaya, or the entire country is very accommodating. It's a is it called a tourist country, or it's the
Well, that
destination
area
for
is
tourists?
definitely a resort. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a lot of hotels. I didn't have any issues. Uh, this is a bit of a side story. So I
I like
booked
side stories.
all the hotels, no problem. And then maybe a week before before I flew out, I I looked at other hotels. How do I put this? Uh, Short story, long story short, I wanted to get a better hotel, better location. I basically last minute I went through the reviews of the hotel, and I didn't really like it. So I got I tried to look for another hotel maybe a week before, and the first weekend we went there, they had this I think annual firework festival. It's like one of the biggest in the country, and that basically booked all the hotels. So I had a lot of trouble booking the hotel for that
Hmm.
the weekend.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow. It's like a Chinese New Year in Thailand.
yeah. It's like the biggest fireworks festival, and that was kind of stressful. Like it was the worst traffic ever experienced.
Well,
I'm
obviously you don't live in the
yeah.
Northern Virginia, Washington D.C. area. So,
Oh, I'm sure if you talk to anybody who went to the World Shoot, they'll tell you how bad the traffic was. It's it's like
okay.
you have like okay there over there it's 2 kilometers or in kilometers. Two
Right.
kilometers takes like 30 minutes. It's a
You
total
can
stop.
walk it faster than that.
Yes, yes. So a lot of people they would take taxi, and then as they got close to the hotel, they would just get out and just walked. Yeah, but it was really bad
And for
for
those
that
people
one
who,
weekend. Yeah,
yeah, for those people who don't normally deal in kilometers, 1 kilometer is 0.62 miles. So we're only talking 1.24 miles,
yeah,
and it would take
yeah,
30 minutes. Yeah,
yeah,
you can definitely walk 1.24 miles in less time. But of
yeah,
course, you have a lot of equipment you're hauling back and forth, so
yeah.
it doesn't
I
doesn't make for walking.
yeah I rented a car, and that weekend where the festival was held, I was driving like I was in the car for like 5 to 6 hours a day. Yeah. It was
Wow.
just stuck in traffic.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Was anybody able to stay like right there closer to the range?
So the range is about 30 minutes into the inland, away from the Pattaya city.
Mm.
So everybody
Okay.
has to drive 30 minutes into
Into the jungle,
the range.
basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think there was any hotels close to the range. So you have to spend 30 minutes traveling. Yeah.
So were you able to change your reservation then?
Uh, so when I booked the hotel that I liked, they had one day that that was just completely full.
Okay.
So I had to find somewhere else, and that was a nightmare because everything was booked, and that was one day before the day one match. Ooh.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah, it was a huge chaos. So I'm like, oh my God. So it was after the ceremony, after the opening ceremony. So I'm in my car like looking for a hotel just to book one night, and I find something, and that's the only hotel available, and it was horrible. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah, yeah. But after that one night, I went back to the hotel that I booked, and it was a breeze from there. So it was a very
Okay.
tough one night. Yeah.
All right. So did you fly out of Vegas then?
I so outbound. I've biggest mistake. I flew to LAX, then to ICN Incheon, Korea,
Okay. Yep.
then BKK Bangkok Airport.
Okay.
So a lot of a few of the guys that went through LAX airport, they had some issues with their ammo. So I had half of my ammo confiscated by the airline.
You gotta be kidding me.
I wish I was. Yeah, so they took half of mine. Spencer Stein, he's an open shooter.
I do not.
Okay, so it's not his first time shooting wall shoot, but last time I don't think he had any issues, but this time he got half of it confiscated. I think like several people who went did get their ammo taken away. So
What
that
what
was, yeah.
what did the airlines use? Why LAX and why did they take the half of your ammo?
So this is just the inconsistency within airlines and their policies. Each
Okay.
airline has its own policy on
Right.
how they, take care of things with in regard to firearms. Other people who flew out of US via Korean Air, they didn't have any issues. For example, they weren't asked how many rounds they had or how heavy they were. And if they were asked, we would just say under 11 pounds, which is the airline
The
policy
limit.
limit. Yeah,
Right.
the limit. And that was it. They just, nothing else. And they would board the plane, no problem from there on.
Okay.
In my case and in the other unfortunate cases, they asked and then they also wanted to weigh the ammo. And when they did weigh the ammo, they're like, oh, this exceeds 5 kilograms. You're out of luck. So they take your ammo away. So
Wow.
yeah, it sucked. I did my best to not get my ammo confiscated because you do hear, these stories before. I was like one of the last person to go there, and we have this chat group, U.S. IPSC World Shoot chat group, and all the people who are going, you can kind of see how they're going through it, and a lot of people were fine, but some people just were hit with the sticklers. So
So when you
yeah,
say chat group, was it like on a social media page or was it like
it's
just
on
your texting app or
it's on
what?
so we use the WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so LAX, I think, in my opinion, was the kind of problematic with the firearms and ammunition, which
There's a
is no
shocker.
surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the horror story doesn't end here. It's not even bad, because you're still boarding the plane without half your ammo. So outbound, I lost half my ammo. coming in, it was even worse. So
What?
yeah, so I flew EVA Air, which is a Taiwan airline, coming
Okay.
back in. So I wanted
Hmm.
my itinerary was BKK, Taipei, Taiwan,
Okay.
LAX, and then fly back home to Vegas. But when I was checking in, uh, they wanted to get a confirmation from each destination. So they called Taipei, hey, there's a shooter with firearms, uh, and they basically they want to get a green light. Is it gonna be okay? So Taipei branch, they're like, yeah, no problem. It's just a layover. Send them in. LAX location. Uh, I guess it's partly my fault, but on the return trip, you also have to have satisfying documents upon entry so that you can go through the customs. But the airline wanted to see my 4457 form. It's like I'm not sure what it's called.
What's it
It's a
for?
it's basically a form for the customs to have records that the guns that I'm bringing back in is actually from United States and not
Okay.
that I'm importing like
Right.
foreign firearms.
I gotcha.
So it's really just used for the U.S. Customs, and
Okay.
nobody else. Like airlines shouldn't care about it, but the LAX branch they wanted it, and I didn't have it at the time, so they denied me boarding. So I had to book Korean Air for next day and fly back with Korean Air, which
Wow.
they didn't ask. So like I'm going through the chat. I'm like, hey guys, like I have issues here with Eva Air, and tons of people who flew Korean Air back. They said they were never asked for the form before they boarded, got their pass, boarding pass. So it's just the inconsistencies with the airline policies that really hurt the shooters. Yeah.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it
Now,
sucked.
now I'm surprised the USPSA didn't do, and maybe they did. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody. That's not my
Yeah,
point here. But
yeah,
I almost feel like that would be part of the logistics for preparing to send people overseas is to,
yeah.
kind of grease those skids with those different airlines.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been very nice if they had like a cheat sheet for the shooters to like really just, do a check mark
Right.
on. Maybe because I joined, a month or two before the match, I don't think I got something like that. But yeah, I think all of these, most of these would have been avoided if we had like a small cheat sheet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe, but also almost feel like with the ammo confiscation issue,
Yeah.
that I guess the lesson learned going forward is maybe find out the different airlines that people are flying on, and whomever the president is at the time, contact those airlines and say, look, we are sending basically Team USA members
Yeah.
to South Africa. They're flying on, some of our people are flying on your airline.
Yeah.
We learned 3 years ago that half of our ammo was confiscated, so I'm calling you to find out what we need to do to make sure you don't confiscate any of our shooters' ammo so when they get over
Yeah.
there, they aren't handicapped,
Yeah. I think that's a
you know?
great idea. If our president reaches out to all the airlines, but ultimately I blame the airlines and it's like you just run into someone who just can't let you go, get by. Because a lot of times they're fine, like they don't, they're not crazy about it. But sometimes they are. So like it's just inconsistent.
Yeah, I get that. But
Yeah.
if you had
Yeah.
something like, and I'll just use Yi Min. Let's just
Yeah.
say he gets
Yeah.
reelected. So
Yeah.
he's the president. If
Yeah.
he could send something out to everybody,
Yeah.
you know, in an email, like an attachment that you could then print off and take with you. So when you hit the airline and they wanted to give you trouble, you could then produce this document and say, look, here is a document from your airline signed by ABC, Joe Snuffy, the president,
Oh yeah.
saying this is what we do.
Yeah.
Then you're good. You know what I mean? Then low man
Yeah.
on the totem pole can't steal your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great idea.
No matter how crazy liberal he might be, he can't steal
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Son of a.
Because it's a message from their company, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense a lot. Man, yeah, that's a
All
great
right, Dave
idea.
Riddle for president.
You got my vote. Yeah.
Sorry, Yi, that I'm not trying to take your spot.
Um,
Oh goodness.
yeah.
So you finally make it over there with. Did you ever?
Yeah.
How did you get more ammo to shoot? Or
Oh, so luckily, Thailand has a lot of ammo, match ammo, and they also have a lot of like they have a bunch of ranges, gun ranges, and
okay,
there's an ammo company, Thai ammo company that was sponsoring the event, and I was able to get ammo from them.
how did that function?
So the brand that I used 124 grain of their ammo.
Okay,
Personally, it ran amazing in my gun. It
okay,
was it was a little hot, it's just a factory ammo, but it seemed accurate enough, and um, it wasn't too like too jumpy, that like
okay,
I couldn't really contain the whole recoil management. So it worked for me, but I heard some open shooters with like 9 major rounds that had to buy the match ammo or the NRC. It's called the NRC ammo, the
okay.
Thai ammo. They had some issues. So I don't think it was the ammo problem. It was probably the fact that the open guns are very finicky, and they're not exactly like factory guns that just chew through
Right,
any ammo you get. So
right.
yeah, others had issues. I was totally fine. So yeah,
So,
yeah.
do you know if any other shooters on the team shooting minor did they have any issues, or was it just mainly the major power factor guns?
Well, no one else brought it up, but the open
Okay,
shooters. So I think
okay.
their ammo is pretty good. Uh, I mean, it got me to fourth place. uh, I guess it was just a hair deficient from being superior. Just kidding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the ammo. If
There
I
you
had
go.
good ammo, I would
Would
have
have been a
come back.
different result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
I'm
saying
just
Luke would
kidding.
be congratulating you?
Yes, exactly. It would have been a massively different outcome.
Oh, that's funny. All right,
Yeah.
so you make it over there, half your ammo, you're able to get some more ammo.
Yeah.
Um, how how many days ahead of the opening ceremony did you get there?
I got there, I believe it was Thursday. I got there Thursday morning. We had the opening ceremony Friday, and we started shooting by Saturday morning. Yeah, so just a day before the opening ceremony.
But there was a pre-match, wasn't there?
Yes, there was a practice match, or pre-match going
There you
on at the
go.
World Shoot. Yeah, I
But there
think
was
they
a
had.
practice match. That's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So pre-match they had finished by the time I got there, so I didn't get to really see
Okay.
people shoot. But they had this practice match that uh, they that the club did their best to resemble the World Shoot stages, but it was completely different because you know how different it is uh, when you see the PDF version and then the actual stages.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they tried to replicate, some of the stages. It was a 10 stage practice match. Um, I shot with U.S. Shooters. It was Mason Lane, his wife, and other U.S. shooters that were accompanying him. Um, so I felt great. Like I shot the practice match like amazing. um, so that was good times. But the first day of the actual match, I struggled really hard.
So you
Yeah.
shot your best ammo during the practice match.
No, I shot because I knew I had to get used to their ammo.
That's
So I
right.
shot their ammo. Uh, I was, hitting alphas all day, and it just felt great. Everything felt great. No issues with the manipulation. And then, yeah, you know, major match pressure. I'm not sure, but the first day and second day, I had a lot of problems. Yeah.
So how long did the 10 stage practice match take you?
Oh, just one day. Yeah, just like a couple hours. Yeah.
So did the staff reset that as well? You didn't have to
Yes, yes.
reset.
There was
Okay.
staff. Yeah. It was $100 US dollar match, so $10 per stage.
Oh,
Cheap.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to just shoot one stage, could you just pay $10 and shoot one stage? No.
I don't
Okay.
think
So
so. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was $100 or nothing, and that was it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a buffet where you could like, oh, I want to shoot this one, that one, and the other
Uh,
one.
yeah.
Now that would be a neat match.
Yeah.
So then the next day, so how was how'd you like the opening ceremonies?
Oh, it was good. Uh, it was it was a good experience. The marching part, seeing other nations get together, talk. Um,
Anybody from
they,
Korea?
oh yeah, there was a Ipsy Korea shooters. I think about 15 shooters, 10, 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they also had food after the ceremony. So
Oh,
yeah, so
I
they
think I know
they
where you went.
they made it a really they tried to do their best, I think, to make it look good. Like they had some dancers, they had some military doing the what is it called? Like with the firearm, you're like throwing it in the air and stuff in a line.
Yeah, I know what it is. I can't think of it. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, sorry. Uh, okay, but they did that, so they had some little like shows that they prepared for the shooters, which was really nice. So opening ceremony was cool. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did it compare to the Pan American Games opening ceremony?
Oh, it's the next level, next level. Not even, there's
Okay.
no comparison. Yeah. Pan American, I guess it's because of the size of the match. I don't think there was as many as shooters as World Shoot, but Pan American um, was a lot smaller, you know. Uh,
Right.
but they also put out a show. It was like a cowboy thing. Um, I didn't stay there for the whole time, but they had their speech and they had like a show for the shooters to watch. Uh, but size wise, it was a totally different level. Yeah, yeah.
So were you there for, like I saw the video of the American team in the parade, if you want to call it that, of
Mm.
teams coming through during the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Were you there for all of that?
At the World Shoot?
Yeah. Where they all
Yeah,
came
yeah,
through? How
yeah,
long
yeah,
did
yeah.
that take for all those teams to walk through there?
I would say maybe 30 minutes. Because,
Okay.
outside uh, outside the big room, we're already lined up to march, so it went
Right.
really smooth. Yeah, just one country after another. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, maybe 30 minutes. Yeah,
Now, did they play any of the national anthems during that time, or was it just
the
everybody
clo
parading through?
right, just parading through, if I remember
Okay.
correctly. But at the closing ceremony for
That's
first
where the
place finishers, they played the anthem.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, I assume you guys taking first, third, and fourth, you had to win gold team.
So first, Luke, oh, for PDL division.
Yeah, for you. Yeah. You
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
a team gold, did you not?
Yeah, for
Okay.
PDL, congrats to the team, PDL team. I wasn't part of it because I went as an individual, but if I was
Mm,
on the team, yeah, it would have only helped the score. Yeah,
okay.
because then that would be first, third, fourth place that are from US. So our scores would have been like different by hundreds.
Astronomical.
Yeah, yeah, it would be
Yeah.
like hundreds of points. Yeah.
Okay. So I know it was Luke, um, Max. Now who was the third shooter?
Matt Hopkins.
Okay.
The other one, I think his name is Rory. Uh,
Okay, yes.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to see if yeah, I don't have the list right off the top of my hand.
Yeah.
There we go. No. Yeah, I guess Rory Sonko. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now there was no shooting the day of the opening ceremony, correct?
Right. So the range was closed, I believe, for the or yeah, nobody was shooting.
All right. So day one was Saturday because I'm pretty sure that was a
Yeah.
Friday.
Yes.
Um,
Saturday.
and you already would have checked in, I guess, on Thursday.
Yes. So they have gun check days, and that was before the ceremony, opening ceremony. I think they hold for 3 days. So 3 days before the opening ceremony, and you have to register for which day you want to do that. So I did it for Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now were you around when Matt Hopkins finally made it there?
No, Matt Hopkins had a lot of problems.
Yeah, it took him like 2 days of travel to get there.
Yeah, yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Maybe 3 days.
So I wasn't the only one that had tons of issues. Yeah, he got there after the ceremony, I believe.
Yes. And I
Yeah,
think he ended up getting there on like either Saturday or Sunday morning or something. It was like,
I think Friday night, and then
oh,
he
okay.
started. Yeah, I believe he did the gun check in the morning before the match started, but he started in the PM, so he had a lot of time to do that.
Okay. I knew he checked in the day of the shoot, so
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I felt bad for him because he would post his stories on Instagram. He's like, still
Yeah.
stuck in Incheon. Yeah,
Yeah, I've never, I mean, I'm like, first off, I was like, why are you in Minnesota?
still, and
And
everybody's
it's
in
like,
Thailand.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's already posting pictures of, look at me with the elephant.
yeah.
And poor Matt's like, I'm in Minnesota. for 34 hours.
No.
Holy cows, nuts.
Yeah.
All
So the
right,
lesson
so
here, lesson
yep.
is get there like at least 4 days, 3, 4 days before the match starts. Me, I was pushing kind of close because it was one day before the opening ceremony. But in hindsight, should have probably gotten there a little earlier. Yeah.
Why?
Um, to account for those things, getting your flights delayed
Okay,
and
so just for travel purposes and more of a buffer.
and yeah, and getting acclimated to the time zone and stuff, I think is also important. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, now there was a 12-hour difference, so I almost feel like you getting there the day before, it was almost like all of a sudden going from a normal daytime, what do I want to say, like work shift to all of a sudden the next day you're working nights because you guys getting up to shoot at 6:30. It's
yeah,
6:30 here on the East Coast.
yeah,
So, in a couple hours I'm going to bed, so you guys are normally going to
yeah,
bed, but now you're
yeah.
up all night shooting.
Right. So I got there Thursday, and because you get there, you're all excited. So I had the energy to shoot the practice match, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's why I shot it great. And then I started crashing from there, and that's probably why the first day was so rough for me, because that's when my body's like reacting to the whole, changing to the whole time zone difference. Yeah. But yeah, that's the reason why you should go there a little earlier, just to get like situated, you know.
Take care
But
of the whole jet lag issue.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't a huge problem for me, except for the first day, because you're doing a lot of stuff, going, to a lot of places. So when you get back to hotel, like for me, I don't have sleeping issues. I can sleep whenever. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just not on the range, I take
yeah, yeah, right.
it. So there was no I guess you just went straight to whatever stage you were starting on at 6:30 that
Yes,
morning.
yeah, yeah.
And then did you shoot mornings every day or was it
It's
like nationals where you
alternating,
do okay,
alternating.
so it's
Yeah.
morning, afternoon.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I do have some points that I wrote down that we could probably talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, I did AM, PM, AM, PM, AM. Um, all right, let's start from I guess, the list of things that I, I put together. So yeah, the being in a team or a team squad is very important. I think that really helps the shooter because in the IPSC scenario, you have to have a delegate. And the first 2 days, I was basically struggling to get all my hit scores because I'm basically hunting, to check my score after I had too much focus on. So like I would finish the stage and I would I would focus. I would try to see as many targets as possible before they're taped. So a
Right.
lot of my focus was kind of into, you know, oh, right after I shoot, I gotta holster up, and then I gotta like look at these targets and that targets. So, so yeah, so I wasn't 100% focused on just shooting, but I also had to focus on seeing, checking my scores. So that was very tough for the first 2 days, and then starting Thursday, I'm sorry, the third day, uh, I had somebody on my squad who was willing to delegate
Okay.
watch the hits for me. So day three, four, five, it went pretty smooth. But the first two, it was just it was a whole mess.
What country was that gentleman from or female?
Um, so we had some Thai shooters. We had some shooters from they speak Dutch. I'm not sure what country, but Dutch and Israeli shooter. His name is
Oh.
Eli Hutner. He's part of the Double Alpha Academy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good to meet someone like him. He was actually he actually ran as a president of Israel IPSC for 1 year. So he's been around the community for a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Any Filipino shooters on your squad? Because they
Oh
seem to
yes,
have
yes.
a lot of shooters there.
Yes, Filipinos, I think they got tons of slots too, like 50, 70 shooters. There was one young guy uh, on our squad. Yeah.
Okay. Now, IPSC is different too for juniors. I think juniors are what, under 21 or something like that?
Um,
I think they're a little bit older than what we consider juniors.
yeah, I don't know exactly, but um, yeah, here's a quick funny story from Nils. Nils shot standard, and
Right.
there was Filipino shooters shooting standard, and he said all the Filipino shooters were their parents were with them, and basically their parents, and I think he said they also had fans watching, spectating the match.
Oh, okay.
So their parents were acting as like caddy, and so like basically they would load the mags for them. They would like apply the grip lotion for them, and like
Wow.
basically make sure that the shooter is in the perfect condition to so the shooters can focus on the match and nothing else. So they really
Wow.
got good support. Yeah, they got a good support system. Yeah. Yeah, I did notice that one shooter in my squad who was Filipino, he was a junior too, I believe, and he was with his parent, his dad, and he was loading his mag, carrying his bag, and all that stuff. So they take it seriously, and I think it's a good thing. Yeah, with that much support, they do get good results. So it works, I think.
Yeah, and I just did a cursory Google check, and I'm pretty sure 20 and under is
Okay,
a junior.
I see.
Whereas with us, once you hit 18 in the
18.
US, you're
Yeah.
no longer a junior. There,
Yeah.
it's 21. Once you hit
Hmm.
21, then you're no longer. Because I want to say, and I'd have to go back and look, and I don't have that handy right now, but I want to
Yeah.
say the two people who in standard ahead of Nils said junior. And I was
Yes.
like, wow.
Yes. Yeah. They're
So very young shooters shooting at a very high level.
yeah, they're pretty hardcore. Uh, they're great shooters. They know how to shoot
Interesting.
standard, I guess. But
Yeah,
I didn't see the match because I was shooting too. I didn't see how they performed, uh,
right.
how Nils did exactly. So I don't know if Nils was performing at his best. I'm not sure. I thought he was gonna get the first place. I was kind of surprised, like, wow, okay. So I would love to see the match footages and see how things went. But yeah, the outcome was very surprising to me.
Yeah, especially with the year that he had, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, it's probably going to be another first. As long as Eric Graffel's not in his
yeah, yeah,
shooting in his division, because that's probably the only guy that I don't know
yeah.
if it. I don't even know if Christian would have won had Eric Graffel been shooting open. So
Oh
That guy,
yeah.
that guy is just remarkable, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. But I talked to Christian after he won, and I I mean, from my perspective, well, obviously Eric didn't shoot open, but
Right.
uh, I thought he was. I was very confident he was gonna get the gold. I didn't see any other contender that was at his level. So we're just talking, and I was like, um, dude, like, uh, we should have like bet on you because I knew you're gonna win. So, but yeah, and he's like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So yeah, I knew he was gonna get it. I didn't see anybody at his level. So
Right.
yeah.
And he only won by 25 points.
I think it was like less than that, but he basically played the point game, I think. Like, so he was probably in the lead, and then he was just probably, making sure he was still,
Staying
afloat.
there, right.
Yeah.
I
Instead of
gotcha.
like, because like, he really probably wanted to win and not jeopardize anything, so he was probably extra cautious, not trying to play around, just play the point game, make sure you get the win, you know. Because
Right.
yeah, in the end, who cares about the point difference? You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only
Yeah.
thing that I mean, it could be. I mean, look at some of the USPSA nationals where people were point 0.8 points
Yeah. Yeah.
separated a win from number two. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter as long as
Yeah.
your name is first. That's all that matters.
I mean, we do talk about how close they get and how far they are. At times, like, oh, the
Right.
first place was 100 points ahead of second place, but uh, yeah, what's really remembered is the places. Yeah.
Exactly. And that was another open. You had Christian one, Chris Tilley three, and
Yeah.
KC was four.
Yeah.
And I know going into the last day, KC was third and Chris Tilley was fourth. So they switched
I see.
places
I
the
see. I
final
see.
day.
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
Because I was tracking that and
Yeah.
I even posted in there how close they were. So I knew that there was a chance that that would change. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, so you shot day one, didn't have a great day. So what happened on that first day of shooting?
So the scoring before the shooter finishes, that's one of them. And um, what IPSC does is they pull a lot of ROs, right, from different countries, and so inevitably they end up having varying uh, qualities of ROs. Uh, so yeah. Varying qualities of ROs, and um, I'll wait till you get back. And yeah,
You
some
you
yeah.
can talk. I can hear you.
Oh, with your headphones, with your
Yeah,
wireless headphones.
they're Bluetooth, so I
Yeah,
can hear
yeah,
everything you're saying. I just don't
yeah.
want to talk from over there because you'd barely hear me.
Okay. Uh, yeah, some ROs they weren't exactly um, in line with how they're running with the major match. It's just really weird looking at the screen, uh, just the chair. But yeah, some like for example, day one I was making ready, and generally when you're, for example, if a stage is hands it starts, uh, you put your hands at your sides. I'm sorry, hands at sides start. You'll put your hands at sides and be still, and that indicates you're ready, right? But certain ROs, they like when I had my hand still on the gun, they would give me like, "Are you ready? Stand by," like range commands, and things like that, little things like that. But
So do you
yeah.
feel like they were rushing you a little bit, or
Oh yeah, for sure. And I wasn't the only one to bring that up. Notice that other shooters, they mentioned in the chat group chat that they were rushed and things like that. Uh,
so
yeah,
does if let I want to all right, so let's
yeah,
say half of the USA team shooters are saying, "Hey, this is happening."
yeah.
Could Yi Min? I assume he's the team captain, being the president of the USPSA, which the U.S. region for IPSC.
Yeah.
Would he then be the one to go and talk to the
Uh,
whatever it
yes.
is?
So we had two. One was Yemen and
Oh, you're frozen.
anybody. Oh, is it good now?
Oh, yeah, you're good now. You froze for a second, but you're good.
Yeah. So he was available during the entire match. So if
Who was this?
anyone need,
Who was the
Troy,
second one?
Troy.
Oh, Troy went. Okay.
Yeah. So if someone was having problems during the match, they would summon Troy with through group chat, and he would go there right away to resolve issues. So
Are Are you
yeah.
saying they had cell service at the range?
Oh yeah, you don't have any like so it yeah. So Thailand, you get cell signal basically anywhere. They made sure that you're in a good location. You're not in a dead zone. So yeah, no
I
problem.
like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Too
So
bad they
yeah,
didn't live stream the darn match.
yeah, I guess they could have. But yeah, Troy was available. Yemen was available, so we
I'm
did
here.
have support. Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever have to summon anybody?
Almost did many times. So for some reason, my 21 round mag, I shoot P320, and a lot of there's like three ROs each stage, but at least one of them would look at my 21 round factory mag and be like, "Oh, wait a second, that doesn't look right." And then he would like stop me during make ready and things like that. But then another RO like comes in and he's like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's a factory mag." So I didn't have to summon anybody, but I've gotten very close many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do the rest of the episode like this. What do you
All
think?
right. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Oh, my camera's giving me fits this morning. That's funny. The whole
Okay.
thing's upside down. Oh, goodness.
Are you using your phone?
Yeah, I actually use a newer Samsung
I see.
and an app, and for whatever reason, it didn't want to automatic. There we go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we're, oh, goodness, the things
Yeah.
you have to do. There we go. It just didn't want to automatically rotate. So,
I see. Yeah. But first 2 days, I had a few too many catastrophic stages, so I lost a lot of points there, and yeah, that's probably why I didn't do too well. So
now going back for a second,
yeah,
and neat and almost summoning Troy or Yi Min, I would think that once you've checked in, when you checked in, did they not check your magazine
yeah.
length or something? Or
You do the gun check before the match. So I already checked, and on the first day, I also ran the chrono, where they all
okay,
check the equipment again. So I've gone through you know, basically equipment check twice, but it doesn't really matter to the ROs on each stage if they see something and they're gonna say something. So despite that I've checked twice, they still, flagged it and, wanted to investigate it. So yeah, that was kind of bothersome. But most ROs are cool, there were ROs that recognized that, my mags were legal, so I didn't have to summon anybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just seems kind of. I could see maybe
yeah,
if you had moved something around on your belt or something like that, but
yeah,
your gun and mags, I mean, you
yeah,
travel from another country, so it's not like
yeah,
you had 100 magazines that you could swap out with
yeah,
a, a length that would be illegal. So
yeah,
you've already had everything checked twice. It's just kind of
yeah.
odd to me.
Yeah, and there's really no point with the whole length thing because you're limited to 15 rounds. So no matter how big your
Oh,
stick is, yeah, you,
yeah.
and also they count. They count the rounds too, when you shoot. Yeah,
Yeah, I bet they do. No different than production here.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay. So you had some catastrophic failures. Now, what
yeah,
were the stages like on day one? Were they, and what I'm asking is, this year not so much, but a year ago at Nationals at CMP when you had the three different areas, Zone C at the top of the hill was by
yeah,
far what everybody considered the most difficult.
yeah. With
Is
the
that a
highest round count.
Right.
Yeah,
And then there was a lot of strong hand, weak hand, and other stuff
yeah,
going on. So
yeah.
when you had day one of World Shoot, was that section of or stages, were they any more difficult than the other stages that you would be shooting, or were they about the same?
Um, so I did hear from other shooters that one shooter said like, "Oh, stage two was a huge struggle and people didn't like it." Uh, you
Okay.
know, they had their
Well,
opinions, but honestly, I didn't think they were that different. Um, I guess the day one and so instead of zone, they call it area. So they had area 1 through 5. Uh, I
okay.
did basically from I shot area 1 and then through in a sequence. So
Okay.
I shot area 1 first day, 2 second day. Uh,
So you literally started, well, you may
yeah,
not have started on stage one, but you started on the area
area 1,
with
yes,
stage one and then shot all the way through to 30.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say for me, yes, maybe area 2 was a little more difficult. Uh,
So
maybe
that would be
one of
day two then.
Yeah, one and two, because that's where I lost most points. Day three, four, five, I was pretty good. Like, um, no catastrophic failures. Everything was pretty smooth.
Now, what do you consider a catastrophic failure?
Oh man. Okay, so there was this one stage where you have to hold this bar in front of a wall, and you have to go to the side, peek from the side to shoot with one
Okay.
hand. And then
Okay.
you switch your position and then shoot with your left hand. Generally, I'm very good with one hand shooting. Um, I don't know. So I started shooting with strong hand, and then on the last target before I switched my position, um, my second shot was off, and I knew like, okay, so that was probably not good. But I had my momentum already going into uh, the other position, so I
Right.
switched my position, and it was a mix of paper and steel. I shot paper just fine, but for some reason there was one steel, and I was just missing like 4 shots. My gun runs dry, so I have to come back out, switch my gun to the right side because I have to do reload like this. I do a standing reload, go back, finish the steel, and then that one target before I left the right side, I see it and I'm like I see Alpha Mike, so I'm like, oh no. So I switch my gun and I go back. So like it's like it was like 30 seconds. And
Oh, wow.
that stage is supposed to be like 15-second round. So yeah, that's catastrophic. That's like
Okay.
50%. Yeah, 50%. So those things shouldn't happen, but did happen. And yeah, that's where I lost a lot of points. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are pretty catastrophic. Yeah.
So you got off at
Yeah.
11:30, noon o'clock,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
What did you do the rest of the day?
Oh, so they have their setup was very nice. It's huge. It's a huge range. Um, they have an area where they're serving food. It's like a food court outdoor. So you could go there, eat, you know, and buy water there. And then they have another area that has a bunch of vendors and sponsors. So you would go to the vendor's booth and check out, their products. Um, yeah, that was it. And then you just drive back to hotel or watch the PM shooters shoot, or talk to them and give them some hints and insights. Yeah.
So, so did you go watch people shoot the next area that you were shooting the next day?
Um, no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I should have done it, but I didn't. Yeah, that would have helped.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have helped. Yeah, I didn't do it. Yeah.
All right.
It's because we would for morning squad, we would be done by 9:30, and that's 3 hours before the PM schedule starts, and it's just an awkward time. You're
Okay.
you're you're there, for 3 hours, just not doing anything. So I didn't want to burn my energy. Um, if it was right after, like maybe an hour after, I would have stuck around and just checked out how people shoot, but there was too big of a time gap. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah, I don't
excuse.
blame you there. I wouldn't have hung around either. That's too
Yeah.
long
Yeah,
to
it
wait
really is.
around.
Yeah.
That's very awkward.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to post a quick comment here. Warren Rosen said another reason to scrap major minor and the chrono make power factor 135 pass fail random checking on a preset popper. The only thing is this was an IPSC match, so they're not gonna do any of that. And I don't know that that mattered here anyway. I don't know if that would have fixed your problem with the RO situation anyway. So I assume that's what he's referring to. But
Oh, there's a
so
chat? Live chat?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
there is
okay.
a live chat. Yeah, someone
I
said
see.
I should promote this on some other place. So, but I'm not sharing that.
I see. Okay.
Now, so did you hang out with any of the other shooters from the U.S. that first night?
Yeah, no. That's another thing. The US shooters didn't really like get together after the opening ceremony.
Really?
To maybe have like a dinner, or have a little like meeting to discuss like what stage, needs to be checked out and things like that. Which would have been nice, but no, I didn't get to really hang out with them.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought.
I did hang out with Hansik.
Okay.
We had a few drinks together, and his wife, which was
Wait a
nice. Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
You can't say you had a few drinks and not say we had a cigar too. Because
I
I
mean
know
he.
Juanzik. I know he was smoking a cigar.
Oh
He had
yeah,
to have
every
been.
day. Yeah, he was, but I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, because cigar still has a lot of nicotine in it, and
It
I
does.
remember back in college, I smoked a cigar, and it got me really sick. So yeah, I just try to stay away from it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So you've been there now a couple of days. What are you eating?
Um, some
I saw
Korean
what you
food.
posted. What? You ate Korean food in Thailand?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
my the safe comfort food. So yeah,
Oh my
but
goodness.
I don't particularly remember what I ate in Thailand. It was just, restaurants, 7-Eleven food. Yes, I posted some videos of like bugs on the at the market, but no, there's no way. They're huge. There's they were so big, like cicadas. Oh man, like I don't even know how. Like, yes, if it tastes good, but the texture has to be just horrifying, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, it's jelly filled,
Oh no, is it
crunchy on
really?
the outside. I don't know. I'm
Oh,
assuming
yeah,
crunchy on the outside and runny on the inside. I
yeah,
think I'll pass on that one.
yeah.
So no cobra blood, anything like that, huh?
Well, they did have like alligator meat and like all kinds of stuff. No, I just I'm there to shoot. I don't want to like risk getting like food poisoning, so I just played safe and ate like KFC. They have KFCs, a lot of KFCs.
Do
Yeah,
they really?
yeah.
Is
Which
it
in my opinion is
actually
better.
chicken?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's like better than KFC's in US. Uh,
Really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So KFC's, McDonald's, Korean food, and my hotel had like buffet there, so I had that for breakfast too. So yeah.
So are you aware of anybody that got food poisoning at the match?
Well, so the closing ceremony, they had tons of food. Like it was just they never ran out of it. They had so much food there.
So it
They
was the
yeah.
opposite of USPSA.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, I mean, we gotta do it, you know. But uh, they had like sushi, they had Thai food, they had pasta, like all kinds of food,
Wow.
which was great. Like they never ran out. We would just I kept eating until I was completely full. Their sushi though, because it was outdoor and it was super hot, had to have been sitting outside for more than a few hours, and uh, I think Yimin had to go to hospital to like get some, I don't know what he had to do, but he and his he and Jody, they had to go to the hospital for food poisoning, and
Both of them, or just she went with him because
I
he
think
got it?
right. I think both of them, and also my stomach was totally upset the day after the closing ceremony. But other than that, I had no issues.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So how was the Korean food in Thailand?
Uh, it was moderate. Yeah, pretty vanilla. Like
Okay.
yeah.
But passable then.
Yes, yes, passable. I had some
Okay.
Thai food too, like mango sticky rice, good stuff, and they
Ooh.
have some chicken noodle soup, stuff like that, at the range, which is really good. Yeah, so it was good.
Okay.
Yeah,
So day two now. All right. So you got there Thursday morning. You shoot great on the practice match.
yeah,
Opening ceremony, you're probably starting to feel tired. Day one, you're tired.
yeah.
Are
I kind of
you,
crashed.
at what point did you finally regulate and not feel the time zone difference? What day was that?
Well, I guess after the first day of shooting, and then second day it was fine, cause it's world shoot. You're excited, like at least me. I was excited, so I was able to uh, like stay up when I needed to and go to bed when I wanted to. So after the
Okay.
first day, everything seemed okay. In fact, second day, the first two stages I had stage wins. Uh, but oh, okay, you're right. It was PM schedule, first two stages, stage win. I felt
Okay.
great. And then I suddenly got super tired after the third stage. And then I completely trashed that day too.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I quickly lost my energy. So that was kind of unforeseen uh, phenomenon. Yeah, I was like, okay, I got two stage wins. And then after the third stage, I just like kind of like I was like, oh, okay, I'm super tired. And I started missing and I dropped magazines. Oh man, it was bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I don't normally drop magazines or fumble magazines, but uh over there maybe it's the humidity, but I couldn't put the mag like I couldn't reload and I would just drop up mag entirely, so I had to run back to pick it back up. So those things happened which shouldn't happen. Those were catastrophic, yeah. And then oh, one last thing. There was one stage with a steel swinger. Like it goes like this. Yeah, it goes like that. For some reason, I had a really tough time, knocking those down, and I would miss like I don't know eight shots at it. I would just stand there just all day, just like poop 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 poop. I called the shots, but my timing was off. I don't know why. But the following day, there was the same target, and I think my brain kind of registered how to engage it. So basically, starting Thursday, all those same swinger targets, it was one for one. Yeah. So my subconsciousness basically corrected it after that uh, catastrophic run.
Now, June, you seem like a morning person.
I am,
Like
yes.
like when you've scheduled these podcasts, they're always early,
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah. I mean, I try to be. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah.
that shooting in the afternoon is not your best time? I feel like you would be a morning shooter. Like if you could
Yeah.
schedule shooting every single morning, that's when you
Yeah.
would do it.
Yes, that's true. So I I was squatted in a I was put in a squad that had so out of 5 days, 3 days were morning time, and then 2 days were PM, instead of 3 p.m. and then two morning. So I think I'm best when I shoot in the morning. Like I feel fresh, and
Right.
I don't have problems waking up early. In fact, like when I was preparing for the world shoot, um, there's just internal clock that wakes me up at 4 a.m. No problem. I just wake up, do my thing, dry
You're
fire.
sick.
What?
You need to see a doctor. There's something wrong. 4
Yeah,
a.m. Oh,
but but
for the love
but
of
but
God.
but I come back from the world shoot and my internal clock just it disappeared. So like now I wake up at like you know um, normal time now. So yeah,
Yeah, now you're like, oh my God, the day's half over. I got to get up.
yeah, yeah,
And it's 7 a.m.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So before we continue, um, Becky posted a video
Okay,
of a stage with a crazy mover. Okay.
okay,
So I'm going to share the screen. And what I want to do is the swinger's not until the end of her video, but it's short. So let me
okay.
kind of, I'm going to crop it down so you'll be able to see it better. But I want to talk about this thing because she said there were quite a few of these.
Yeah,
All right, you see that okay?
yeah, I see it. Oh,
Okay.
the moving swinger.
Yeah. So it's going to take a second. Here we go. And
Yeah, I remember this stage.
here we go.
Yep.
So it's, I guess it's on a rail or something, and it's sliding across as well as going, swinging
Yeah.
back and forth, all kinds of crazy.
Yeah. And it's also a no shoot penalty target.
Yeah. So first off, did you wear a hat like that?
No, but it looks really cool. And I think it
It
keeps you
actually
really cool.
does.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of those targets
Yeah.
where, had you been shooting with other Team USA members, this would be a topic of discussion.
Um, yes. So that's one of them, but I do have other stages that were that like team members' inputs were critical that I missed. But this one, basically, you're supposed to engage when it's. I mean, so it's a swinger, but it's exposed the entire way, so you're able to really track it
Okay.
the full time, the full length, and it's safe to shoot when it slows down, going down or the other side. So you can start shooting when it's, about to hit
The
the
bottom
rest.
edge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would, I didn't have a lot of issues. Some people did, but basically what I would do is it comes down like this, and as it's coming down, I can take pop, pop, and then on the other side, pop, pop. So um, personally, I didn't have any problems with this target. Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
also, if you're waiting, I gotta get my hand in. If you're
Yeah.
waiting till it's almost horizontal,
Yeah.
you're also somewhat neutralizing that no shoot target, because your dispersion's going to be more up and down at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
the
did
trick
did you?
was to just really track it, but because it's fully exposed, you're really able to trace it and trace the A zone, I guess, and take the shots. So to me, it wasn't a problem. Um,
Oh, it even looks like it's still exposed back there too.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a disappearing target.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Interesting.
there were some stages with the swingers that I mentioned earlier, but the timing of when it appears and disappears was if you had the timing already nailed down, then okay. So there was one stage where I shot an activator on the move to save time. So I
Okay.
activated it, but I thought as soon as I activate, the target would come up, but it didn't. So I shot
Mm.
on the move, and then I got into the position to shoot the swinger, but I had to wait like 2 seconds. So I'm just sitting there just like this. So all the time that I saved by shooting on the move, that was just uh, uh, voided. So those things were pretty critical in getting stage runs, but I didn't get the timing right. And another thing was I would activate, come back to the next position where this moving target is available, can be seen. Um, there's the one open target, and then there's one bobber in that one window, but I activate it in a different place. So I would activate. My stage plan was I activate, come back, shoot the open target, shoot the bobber, and leave that position. But when I did that, when I came into position, shoot the open, and I transitioned to the bobber, it just disappeared. So I would just wait there for like a second or a second and a half, just so that it comes back up. So if I had seen other shooter run that stage, I would have quickly fixed it. What I would have done was go to that position, shoot the bobber first, and leave on the open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
Okay.
just by changing the sequence of engagement, I would have
Yep.
saved like a ton of time. that happens so many times. So yeah, that's why I emphasize the importance of shooting in the team. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Now, did they, like at the USPSA does, did they rotate the first shooter on every stage, or was it the first shooter the same shooter every stage?
They rotated it, but I don't know. They didn't stay consistent. So like, uh, this one shooter in my squad would be the first shooter like 4 times in a row somehow, and he just started complaining like, "Oh, what the heck? Like, it's supposed to be in order, you know?" Um, and other people had the same problem. They're like, they were the first shooter like 3 times in a row. So I don't know how they ended up messing up the order, but yeah, it was supposed to be in rotation. Yeah, it wouldn't be fair
Okay.
if you're the first shooter every stage, you know?
Right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering. But I've never shot an IPSC match, and obviously, a world shoots only once every 3 years, so who knows if there are any different idiosyncrasies there.
Yeah.
So, so you shoot day two,
Yeah.
starts off great, doesn't end so well. So you
Yeah.
neutralize your stage wins early on.
Yeah.
Day three now,
Day three.
what day is your buy? Like, what day are you not shooting?
Oh, so it's a 6-day process, but
Right.
in my case, it was the last day. So I shot 5 days straight,
Oh,
and then I took
okay.
one day off.
All right. So day three then. So this is your third consecutive day shooting, but you're back on morning.
Yeah,
So woohoo!
I shot great.
Okay, you shot great. Did you have any
Yeah,
stage wins that day?
I think I had one stage win, but in that area, I missed a lot of a timing part. My shooting was good, like execution was perfect, no issues,
Okay.
but it was the timing that like really threw off the time. But I shot good. You read the book called Winning with in Mind by Lenny
Yes.
Bishop, right?
Yep.
There were days when I reached the triad state that he refers to. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. So when you reach that state, you have the absolute confidence, and you, for me, the way I would describe is like, I'm very confident. I know I'm gonna get it, and I am very aware of what needs to be done and the risks and dangers of it. So like you feel as if you're in full control of this situation. So I felt that second day, day two, in the morning, and I got super tired quickly. And then yeah, the I guess third, fourth, fifth, yeah, it was pretty good. Like I was doing pretty well.
So how do you think you were able to get to that point mentally? What was different?
I think a lot of times it has to do with the really good start. So when I watch Super Squad shoot at nationals, their first stage of the first day, they they're very very careful. It's like they're trying to get 100% alpha. So so and I understand why they're doing it, because if you have a good start, then you can
You build
kind of
on it.
maintain
Yeah.
and coast, yeah, build on it. But
Yeah.
if you have a bad start, then you're basically trying to make up, every stage, and I don't know, I guess the mentality it just isn't there. But I had a good start, first 2 stages, and they kind of builds up, and I can kind of focus on shooting more and be more confident with it. So I think a good start really dictates uh, how you get to the triad state. Yeah.
So a good start isn't necessarily a stage win, but a good start is no
Good perf
penalties.
Right, good execution,
Okay.
basically, uh, just as you had planned, and it just goes well, goes as planned. I think that's a good start. Yeah, but a stage win is great,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a,
I
it's a
mean,
good
I can
booster.
imagine day two when you have two weight stage wins, you had to be.
Yeah.
on top of, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah. I felt great until like I crashed, but yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, we'll
yeah.
stop at the two stage wins.
Yeah, yeah. So I got one stage win for on the second day. I was like, all right, this feels great. The next stage win. This feels great. Stage three, I did good. It's just I dropped some deltas, but I still did pretty good. And then, and then after that, um, I got tired very quickly, and I kind of lost it. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now, when you shoot mornings, do
yeah.
you do any dry fire practice before you head to the range since you wake up so early?
Yeah. So I a lot, maybe 15 minutes to just kind of get, like get going with your, muscles and stuff. So I spend like 15 minutes maybe just to play with your gun, do some manipulation. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
I wake up early and then, I finish by morning and it's all good. But because I wake up early, if I shoot PM schedule, it's like I don't shoot until 12 hours after I had waken up. So,
Right.
yeah, it's like my
Yeah.
weakness. Yeah.
That and
I'm
yeah,
like
that's
already
what I'm.
tired by 3 p.m. Yeah.
Now, so all right, so day 3 goes well. Now you have 24 hours off at least from the time you shot till the next time you shoot because you're shooting PM on day 4. What does your day 4 schedule look like when you shoot in the afternoon?
So, I think that's when I went to like go shopping after I shot. So 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 shopping to bring some gifts back. Uh,
Souvenirs, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So shopping and I I went there by myself. So I had to do laundry, and that's when I checked out Pattaya City, things like that. Yeah. So yeah.
So are you saying you normally don't do your laundry when you're at home? Is that what you're telling me?
I I do it, but my hotel, very nice hotel, but they didn't. They had the laundry service, but you don't get it until the next day. So I went to like a coin laundromat. Uh, so yeah, I spent the time to basically get ready for the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at what point do you dry fire practice on Thursday or day 4, not Thursday,
Yeah.
but day 4 for the afternoon shoot?
Just any random, random moment when I feel like necessary. I guess like a night before or in the morning I do it. But uh, there was one stage which I crushed it. I got a stage one on it, where and it's one of the stages that I saw on the Instagram story. Christian
Oh,
side.
okay.
So somebody posted Christian's run, and I watched it. And the trick was with that stage is you uh, you open the door to activate a swinger, and a lot of shooters they would open the door, the swingers activated, but there was a lot of still targets too, other still targets. So they would shoot the static targets. I'm sorry, static targets, and then transition to the swinger. But what he did was he would open, get the gun up as soon as possible, shoot the swinger that's activated, and then
Okay.
finish up. So I saw that. I'm like, okay. So those little hints are very, very, very useful because I would see that and I would kind of prepare for it the night before. So what I did was I would practice the dry run of pulling the door handle and getting the gun up as soon as possible because a lot of times it's really hard to like do some action with your weak hand and then present the gun as fast enough. Try it and see how long it takes for you to do it because it's actually really hard to like present it as soon as possible or fast. So I practiced that in the hotel room, just open the door and get the gun up as soon as possible. Open the door, yeah, which helped. So During the stage run, I would open the door. Uh, I think it's in one of the videos I posted on YouTube. So I would open the door, get the gun up as soon as possible. The swinger comes down, perfect timing, take 3 shot, pop pop, and then finish smooth. Yeah. So yeah, those things like if I get a preview of some of those like good stage runs, then I can really replicate that and execute it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing, but it might not be on your regular post.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I
Yep.
gotcha. Hmm. Let's see here. Hmm. Well, is it a standalone or is it part of your
Uh,
whole world shoot video?
it's part of the
Okay.
highlights, but let me see.
Oh, okay. All right, I've got it up now.
Okay, I think it's
All right, hold on.
oh, it's the first one.
Yeah, I just stopped it. I just saw it. So,
Okay.
all right, let me share. Well, let me maximize. There we go. Now I'll share the screen again. Do that one. Add. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna leave you visible. I'm gonna cover myself. There we
Okay.
go. So it's a little bit more visible. And we're gonna
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Get up, chamber, shoot, simple, straightforward, reload,
There's your
steal.
stick. So, all right, let me stop real quick. Where's my cursor?
Ah,
Now,
yeah,
go back for a second. So
yeah.
those are steel, but they don't fall, obviously.
They do. They're
They
they're they're
do,
they're what are they called? Like they're not poppers. They're just falling
like
steel.
plates.
Yeah,
Right,
plates.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I did not see, and maybe it's just the angle. Okay, now I can
So
see it.
they had shrouds around the steel to, I guess, keep it from ricocheting, spreading lead around. But it's they have like this rainbow shaped shroud, and they have a steel
Okay,
plate. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. And then here's your door. So you
Yeah,
pull the door
reload
and,
as soon as I open. So like it's very tricky to get the gun up, and time that swinger. Uh, a lot of people, what they did was just shoot that far open target or, shoot the right side moving target. But with this one, the trick was to, you know, open that door, get the gun fast enough to engage that swinger, which I was able to do. And I think, yeah, this is a stage win.
okay. Now I
Yeah.
take it the cable is running along this steel?
Yeah, that
Okay.
conduit.
Yeah. So you're saying some people would open the door and engage these two all the way in the back first.
Yeah, because they weren't fast enough to present the gun to shoot that left swinger. So they would either shoot like that static target or just the right moving target swinger because that's very slow.
Okay, and then
Yeah,
come back to the one on
that
the
swinger.
left.
And they would basically then risk losing the timing of it. Like if they were to transition back to the swinger, they could, it could be anything. Like it could be disappearing or appearing, or so
Gotcha. Right.
yeah.
So you engage that one, then you hit the two open, and then the other slower
Yep.
swinger.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Here we go. So day three and day four go well. Then day five. So this is your fifth consecutive day where
Yeah.
you're feeling any, like, nationals is normally 3 days.
Yeah.
So on day five, where it's morning time, so it's your best time to shoot. Were you feeling any exhaustion just from shooting?
So from Pan Am, which was a 4-day match, I did feel a bit of a, I guess, exhaustion from, shooting 4 days in a row. Uh, like on the fourth day, I was like, I want to finish and, go home already. But with the World Shoot, every stage, every point is very important. So I didn't feel that. I was feeling good. I didn't feel exhaustion. If anything, I felt even better because like, you're in this match mode 5 days in a row. So like I was like a veteran in the match. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your mindset had changed, yeah.
Yeah, so like yeah, I was able to focus on the match. I know how the match flows. So as the days progressed, I was doing better and better every day. Yeah.
Now
Also,
you
I had delegates for the last few days, and
oh, that's
to
right.
check the score. So I felt more comfortable. I was able to focus on the shooting, just the shooting. I think which allowed me to shoot better. Yeah.
Okay. Now you're from Vegas, so you're used to heat, but Thailand has humidity.
Yeah.
So how was the weather over there?
The first day it rained um, when I was shooting, but after that, no rain. It was just 120% humidity. Just yeah, it was straight up just breathing water. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
So how hot was it? In the 80s, I'm guessing.
It got really toasty in the afternoon. Um, yeah, I would say so. Probably 80s, 80s, mid 80s. But it
Yeah,
wasn't
that
it
seems
wasn't like too bad. Yeah. It wasn't
seems right that time of year.
yeah, it wasn't too hot that I wasn't able to go through it. Yeah.
So did you have to use chalk on your grips or anything? Your hands all
Yeah,
sweaty
I
and
I brought my yeah, I think the sweat was kind of annoying. I brought my liquid grip. Yeah.
okay.
But
The sweat was annoying.
yeah. Maybe it was the sweat that made me fumble the mags. But I
It
would
could be, yeah.
I would reload and it falls out of my hand. So I stood there and I just grabbed another mag so many times. It happened so many times, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Now, what was the round count for the whole match?
They said 650 rounds. So it which I think is really good. A lot of times in US, people host matches and each stage is like 32 rounds. Especially some local matches, they put like 40 round stages. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like, over 30 round stages, 32 rounds. It just
Right.
ends up being like a marathon at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, my I do best in short courses, but yeah, IPSC had a balance of like everything. So they had mid course, short courses, long course. So like every zone, every area, they had a balance of each. So I think that's how
Yeah.
it should be.
There were 30 stages,
Yeah.
so 650 rounds is like 21.67 rounds per stage. So,
Yeah, average. So yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's
not a
pretty
lot.
solid. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a good number right there.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. And
Okay.
yeah, it's just kind of funny because Sometimes you go to a USPSA match, like level two, and it's like a 10 stage course, but like the round count is like 300. I'm like, ah, come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
So, and I've shot some
yeah,
IDPA. I haven't shot a match in a minute, but
yeah.
and there are some times where I appreciate it because the round count is lower. You kind of
Okay, that's
move through
good.
the match faster. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Typically there you're much more limited on your magazine capacity in IDPA, and you're
yeah,
typically only shooting two mags worth. So you're
yeah,
basically 20 rounds or less for most of the stages. So
yeah,
I appreciate that. I'm not a
yeah,
big like you. I like some bigger, field courses,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too. But
but
yeah,
not everyone or not even half. Make it
yeah,
a good
yeah, yeah. Just
variety.
because it has a high round count doesn't mean it's a good stage. And
Correct.
a lot of times you end up seeing a high like 32 round course, and it's like a hoser stage. Like targets are like right there, and you're just like, you know, yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of
Right.
those. Yeah,
Oh. So now you're going into day four's over, day five's in
yeah,
the morning. What's your mind like now, knowing this is the final day and you are right behind Max?
yeah.
So what's your thought process, your mindset?
Um, yeah. I did check the score the night before, and I saw I was like 2% behind, which is like 30 some points. I was like, oh damn. So I think when the match first started, I was ahead of Max, and then he really took off from there.
Well,
I
that's a
saw it.
surprise.
Not really.
I know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But um, day five, I didn't think much. I wasn't like, oh, like I gotta do better or something. I was like, just do my thing, like shoot my shot. That's all I was thinking. Um, which is a good mindset. And I ended up performing pretty decent. Uh, I think two stage wins there too on the fifth day. So uh, the trick is, I think you just don't overthink, or don't think about the score too much, and that comes from Nils too. Like just shoot your shot. So I did fifth day. I didn't think too much. Just in the morning, start good. It was a short course. Finish with your strong hand while holding the door open. So just stay really careful. So I started that, and then it was a good, good ride down the whole match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what lessons did you learn shooting those 5 days that you're going to take back to USPSA, especially like nationals?
Um, Certainly there was a lot of times when I was too careful. So IPSC targets are very more difficult than USPSA targets. Um, the first day, because I wasn't able to check my hits, uh, I would just look at the pad, and it's like there's only like 10 paper targets, and I was getting like 10 Charlies. And I'm like, come on, like I can't even see my targets. So it felt really unfair to just like accept that score, because
Mm,
I didn't think I really shot that many targets at Charlie's,
okay.
which improved over time. Like when I got my delegates and they were really checking scores, uh, my Charlie counts were better by a factor of like two. Um, or
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah, it,
I know
like
what you mean.
it
Cut it in half.
immediately, yeah,
Yeah.
immediately increased. And um, in one stage, my delegate and I checked every single target. It was a 22 round course. Every single target. I counted every Charlie's. When I looked at the pad, I had five Charlies. I like for a short second I lost my mind. I'm like, no way. So I tested it, and I was given the correct number of Charlies. So
Which was
uh,
how many?
Huh?
How many
Oh,
Charlies was
three Charlies. I counted three Charlies. And I looked at the pad, and it's like five Charlies. I'm like, what the hell? Like there was only three Charlies. And the guy that was scoring with the pad apologized and gave me back my two alphas. Yeah.
all
So
right.
you have to be
So
very vigilant with your scorekeeping because
so
they don't really care. Yeah. Go ahead.
how does that happen though? How
So um, the scorekeeper, they stand way back and they just like look at it from a distance. So even if a
mm,
target's like 20 yards away, they would kind of like look at it or ask pasters what hit it is, and they're just like walking over. They don't really pay attention. It's not their score, so they just look at it
wow.
really quickly. So yeah, the scorekeeper stays back and they're just like oh like that. So they don't actually walk up and check the targets themselves. So that's why I think the errors happen so many times. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I heard, so I talked to the regional director of Norway, and he said IPSC matches in Europe don't really do that, even though you have to have your delegates, but they make sure your hits, you verify your hits somehow. So I guess it depends on the region. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So they're much more thorough with making sure your score is accurate
I mean, that's what he
in
said.
Europe.
Yeah,
Right.
in Europe, he said it's run better than how it's run there. So, yeah, I would have to take it at the face value and see how it is next time I go to Europe to shoot. But
Right.
yeah,
So, okay. Do you have plans then to go to Europe and shoot?
I would
Like
love to.
Extreme Euro or something?
Yeah, I would love to. I haven't I don't have any plans yet. Well, my plan is to shoot open, like change my division. So I want to focus on
Oh,
that. Yeah, get that going, and maybe I can take my open gun or something. Yeah, very excited to
why
shoot
open?
open. Uh, so interesting story. I picked up an open gun. Uh, so I teach a little bit here and there, and
Yep.
there was this one guy who wanted to shoot open, train with open gun. Uh, but he's from a different country, so he doesn't have an open gun, or he can't bring it. He's not allowed to bring his gun. So if he were to, you know, come to Vegas to train with me, he would have to use my guns. And he wanted to shoot open, so I shopped around for an open gun. Uh, I got the open gun last year, and I took it out to the range. And when I shot it, it was the easiest gun I've ever shot. It was just phenomenal. I was like, oh my God, I just put the dot up, just ripped two shots at 15 yards, open target, and the group size is this big. I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I'm doing this. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. The whole time I was like, okay, carry optics is like open minor, but the compensator makes a massive difference.
Right.
Yeah, so I was just like shook. I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. There's no way. And another thing I noticed is because open guns are generally heavier, when I transition, it feels easier to transition. So when I use like a 30-ounce plastic gun in transition, I can see the dot kind of shaky and still trying to stabilize in the next target.
Okay.
But when I use the open gun, I think because of its weight, when I transition to the next target, it just stops there. The dot is pretty stable, and I can break the shot. So I feel like it's an easier gun to handle. So I
Okay,
do
so
want
it
to
is
see.
cheating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Oh,
do want to see
that's
how
sounds
far I can
exciting.
go. Yeah, yeah. How far I can go with this platform or division. So, and I'm very excited.
Now, are you going to avoid all the classifiers so you can win nationals as an unclassified shooter?
Uh, um, uh, that's funny.
It is. And it's kind of, JJ shooting carry optics and winning when he hadn't classified. He was
Oh, really?
unclassified.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Okay, that's
Yeah, when
funny.
he won carry optics, he was literally
Yeah.
unk.
Oh,
So
wow.
the only
Yeah.
person I know that goes from unk to GM in one match.
Wow.
So crazy.
Wow, that's awesome. So like
It is. Yeah,
basically
good for him.
they bumped him straight to GM after that one match.
Yep, after nationals.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Yep.
that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I
All
guess
right.
that's what I'm
So
gonna have to do.
what day 5 you shot morning,
Yes.
so you're off that afternoon. You don't shoot on day 6,
Yeah.
and then closing ceremonies is technically day 7.
Yeah.
So what do you do for 36
The
hours?
the gap. So uh last time I went to Thailand, I didn't get to get try Thai massage. And this time like I basically like got Thai massage, um, which was good.
Is that with
Um,
bamboo sticks?
no, they use hands. They have a set course for those who haven't had Thai massage. They have like a set course that they go through to like hit every spot in the body.
Hmm.
It was good, but I personally prefer like a massage. Like it feels way better when my girlfriend does it. I don't know. So yeah, but
All right, I'm going to
yeah.
hold all comments till I see you in person. Then I'll tell you why.
Okay, okay, okay. But yeah. And I just explored the city. Just took it easy. Also did laundry. So there wasn't a moment when I was like, oh, like I'm not doing anything. Like I would go to the swimming pool. So yeah, it was relaxing. Just me relaxing, just taking my day off. Yeah.
Do you ever go to the beach? I mean,
I did kind of like stroll by because there was like a fish market. Yeah, I checked out some markets there. You know,
okay.
uh, which was really nice. It's I love going to those markets. Uh, yeah, you get to see cool stuff. Like there's some
Yeah,
creatures
stuff you would
that
never see here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was this one shellfish that resembled it's like a hybrid of shrimp and lobster, which you never see in
Really?
US. Yeah, so it's like the size is between shrimp and lobster, but it's kind of like shaped like shrimp and lobster. So they have some different uh, uh, creatures that they eat, and
Wow.
yeah, they have a lot of good stuff, like fresh stuff at the market, so highly recommended. So yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, what type of,
I didn't go to
go
the
ahead.
beach and swim there because I did hear from other shooters that it's not really like have you been to Phuket
I
or
have not.
yeah, it's not
I've
like
been to the
yeah.
Philippines. I've not been to Thailand.
Okay, yeah, but it's not like for tourists to swim in it. It's more
Oh,
for like fishing. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Phuket is very beach
Mhm.
oriented resort.
Right.
So,
It has that resort vibe, but the
right.
beaches there didn't really have that vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you buy anything at any of these markets?
Yeah, so I bought some, well, they're super friendly. Like when you walk by them, they try to get your attention and try to uh sell their like crab, like raw crab and like big huge fish. And I'm
Okay.
like, I can't do anything with this. Like I
Right.
can't like cut these up or yeah, there's no way I can prepare the food. But there was one corner where they were selling uni, the the little it's it's like a ball shaped like a ball, but it has spikes and it's a black color uni. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Urchin.
or yeah, or sea urchin. Yes,
There you
um,
go.
yeah,
See, I
in
remember
Japanese.
something.
Yeah, so sea urchin. This lady was selling it, and basically when you pay for it, she would crack it open, gut it all out so that you can just like eat it with a spoon. So that was pretty neat. Basically, I pay her, and she would crack it open, take all the like the intestines out, and what's left is that yellow meat, the sea urchin, and yeah, it was good experience.
Did they put any sauce on it, or was it just straight urchin meat?
Uh, it did like yeah. She put like some like salt water, something, and it was just like salty and it was good as is. Yeah,
So, what did it taste like?
just fresh sea urchin, very fresh. Yeah,
Not like chicken, huh?
no, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, did you bring home any interesting souvenirs from over there?
Um, I bought some Uniqlo clothing.
Uniqlo.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
They
I've ever
they
heard. I didn't know there
they
was such a thing.
they have a lot of malls and outlet malls, really nicely nice facilities. So I went there and bought some, clothes because it's a lot cheaper a lot of times. So yeah,
Eh, I can't believe we didn't talk about this, but
yeah.
I saw a video Mason had posted of the range. The range
Which
looked half indoor, half outdoor.
the world shoot?
Yeah, let me go back. Let me find Mason here.
Well, it was all outdoor, but they had a lot of pavilions, like buildings and roofs that
Y-
cover like a large area.
Yeah, that's what. All right, here we go. Let me stop
Okay.
this. Now let me share it because I saw this and I was like, I actually commented on here asking when, because they have a farm up in Ma- New Hampshire
Oh, okay.
in
That's cool.
the upper Northeast, and I was like, so when are you guys building this facility on your place? And then I made the comment. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Field of Dreams. I said, build it and they will come.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Okay, good movie.
Okay.
Let me. I'm trying to resize this so we're not staring at a bunch of empty space on the screen here. All right, now here we go.
Oh,
So,
that's not the match range. That's just a private range
okay.
that they went to practice at. Yeah, which looks really nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so
That
this is a private range.
yeah, that's called a battle mouse. It's like 20-30 minutes from the range, the actual match.
So did you go here and shoot it all to practice? This looks amazing.
I know it's a great facility. I checked it out, but I didn't really shoot there. I didn't have the time to do it. But a lot of US shooters went there and they loved it. It's a super neat range.
That is amazing.
But there's another range, outdoor range, that I went to kind of dial in my gun, zero it, make sure everything is good. So they have a few ranges, few options you can go to. Yeah.
I would have never thought Thailand was a mecca of practical shooting.
I I mean I didn't either, but I guess they love shooting too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah,
That's
I was
not a
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I saw this and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've not seen anything this nice in the US."
I know.
This
They
is
they have
crazy.
they have grass berm. That's pretty
Yeah,
it's pretty fancy.
that's wild. I mean, imagine, I'm going to let this play for a second and I'm going to stop it again
Yeah.
when it gets right in the middle. I mean, this is like frostproof on drugs,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
On PCP, cocaine, everything under the sun. This is frostproof on
PCP.
everything. I mean, you've got the one path in the middle,
Yeah.
all the bays on the side like
And
frostproof.
it's under shade.
It's all
Perfect.
covered,
Yeah.
but it's a high cover, so you're not like
Yeah.
bottled in, there's a
Yeah.
lot of ventilation.
Yeah.
You're protected from the rain.
Yeah,
except when maybe you're shooting. But could
it's
you?
amazing.
So you shot Prairie Fire rank,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Imagine if they went into them and the USPSA and IDPA
yeah.
all went into business together to build a range like this.
Hey, by the way, real quick, thank you so much for letting me know about that match.
You're welcome.
The
It like
outcome was
paid for
pretty.
your trip.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I expect big results next year
Yeah,
from you.
yes, I could talk about a little bit about it, but yeah, I'm super bummed out about it still. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
We'll get
but
there.
yeah,
We'll talk about it in a minute. But
yeah,
imagine if
yeah,
the three of them went into business to build a range facility
yeah,
like this in
like
a
a
place
nationals
with,
location. Yeah,
yes, IDPA could use it for major matches, USPSA could use it for nationals, Prairie Fire rank could have their competition here, and put it in a place where it's good weather year round, you
yeah,
know, so the southern half of the US, anywhere
yeah.
in there, close to a big city,
Yeah. Also,
and
that's
then
a
boom.
perfectly controlled environment. Like, there's no way you can
Yes.
go wrong. It's not gonna be, you know, totally swamped, be, uh, you know, be underwater or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. I'll get back to where we can see
Yeah.
that. That's a big, that's a wide, deep bay.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could do with that.
Oh, for
So,
sure. Yeah.
a nice gravel, pea-sized gravel floor. You've got, you can't go wrong with this. This is like a football stadium in the U.S.
Yeah. That is a really nice range.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let me stop sharing that now. Uh-oh. Here we go. So, how was closing ceremonies?
Oh, closing ceremony. It was nice. They did a amazing job of preparing for the whole event. Uh, yeah, there's nothing I can complain about their ceremonies. They do an awesome job. Yeah. The only complaint I
Okay.
have from this whole match is just that scoring part. I think it's just wrong the way they did it, but everything else, their facility's amazing. Yeah, everything. I didn't have any problems. Just that scoring issue. Yeah, really.
The stages seem to be some of the nicest decorated stages I've ever seen of any video anywhere at any time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only uh, one world shoot I've been to, but it was like state of the art essentially facilities.
So do you know did the government of Thailand help with that facility at all, or was that all like private?
Um, yeah, I don't know, but I would have to say, yeah, they probably did help. But
It it,
um,
it looked like they helped.
yeah, so it's actually their new range. So it's their brand new range. But before that, they had an old range uh, that is also nice, but it doesn't have all the facilities that the new range has. But it's their upgrade, recent upgrade, and it was very nicely built.
So they didn't just upgrade the range; they built a new range. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
at a completely different location. Yeah, like 15 to
Wow.
20 minutes away from the old range.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So I mean, if you're going to sink that much money into something like that, I
yeah.
assume then they know it's going to get a lot of business per se.
Yeah,
So would you go back to Thailand to shoot again?
I think so. But seeing as how they IPSC rotates, it probably won't happen for a while.
Oh yeah, no, I mean just like let's say there was a
Like a
major IPSC
nationals.
match. Yeah,
Yeah,
or a regional IPSC match going on over there.
like THPSA nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the schedule works, yeah, I would be happy to shoot the match.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's. So overall, it was a great choice, great decision. You enjoyed the experience,
Yeah, I learned quite a bit, and just the result was a bit disappointing. Um,
right? I don't know if you wanted to talk about that or not, so I'm not. I mean, the
the
specifics we chatted about privately.
the oh, what do you mean?
Well, someone's score.
Oh, that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about it, but you know, it is what it is. Uh, yeah, I, I I'm not gonna say anything bad. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, but we'll see how they do. At in different countries, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Without a home field advantage.
yeah. I guess home field advantage is pretty big. Um, in fact, uh, I don't know if you're watching World Cup soccer, but in two.
I try not to, but
Okay, I'm not watching it, but I hear like it's very stressful. Because like some matches are in the morning, like 5 a.m. in the morning. It's just hard to keep up. But
right. But you're awake.
um, yeah. Uh, in 2002, it was hosted in co-hosted Japan and Korea co-hosted it, and
Okay.
we actually got to four. Uh, I guess that's called the semifinal.
Yep.
Yeah, which is like the farthest we've gone in the World Cup. So the home advantage is not something you would ignore. Yeah, I think it's still. I don't know how it works, but I think with IPSC maybe the ROs play some parts in it. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's if anything, it's just the ROs that are making things different. Yeah, treating things
Okay.
differently.
So, do you have plans on getting to South Africa?
Yes, I would love to shoot IPSC World Shoot next one. I
Now,
would.
do
Yeah,
you plan on shooting more IPSC matches so you can get qualified as a Team USA member?
absolutely, 100%. I would love to shoot on the team at the World Shoot, so I want to do that. Yeah, I'll definitely
Okay.
go toward that direction. I have to
All
do
right.
it. I crush it.
Well, I mean, you had a great experience, so why wouldn't you want to do it again and improve your spot? You know what I mean? Oh, why is that thing flashing? There we go. So this year's open team was Casey Eusebio, Christian Seiler, Bill Drummond, and Chris Tilley.
Yeah,
So I definitely see Christian getting prepared for South Africa and being on that team. Casey probably. Chris, yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know Bill Drummond, so I don't know, how long he's been shooting or what his plans are. But I mean, it seems like there's, always that possibility that you could shoot your way onto that team.
yeah, yeah, uh, yeah, and I think there's gonna be a lot of really good shooters on the next one. Uh, I know Jacob Hetherington didn't shoot this one, but he's probably gonna show up to the next one. He's a great shooter, and I
Right, but
really
he's
think,
probably going to shoot production, I would think,
yeah, he's
or
really good at it.
standard.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting.
he did
I
really
mean, Luke
good at the. He
Luke's
won
got to
the.
go back.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Luke, yes, yes, the champion,
Yeah.
the world champ, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, he did really good. So, from what I hear from the team, he started good. He had a good start, and then he was basically able to maintain that every single day, which is the ideal case scenario. So,
yeah, it's
yeah,
impressive.
yeah, it was his match for sure. Yeah.
Did you guys not hang out at all? Did you not see him?
Just opening, closing ceremony. That's about it. And then at the match, we run into each other just so say hi. but we didn't like hang out, eat, or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. And you just hung out the one time with Hwanzik?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine not being on the same schedule, those guys made it difficult. So,
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I'm not like the popular kids in the community, you know. I'm not, you know.
well,
Uh,
you are on this podcast, sir.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you coming on. I love
Yeah,
talking to you.
thank you.
You were. It was amazing how easy it was to talk to you at nationals. We had never met before, and we
Mm,
just had a normal conversation. I was like,
yeah.
I like this guy.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So let's talk while we have it. So
Yeah.
I think did you get everything out about the world shoot that you had written down?
What do you mean?
Well, I know you had some notes of things you wanted to cover
Oh,
in our
yeah.
conversation.
Uh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, about the world shoot. Oh,
Okay. Well, let's talk Prairie Fire Rink for a couple of minutes.
oh, okay. Yeah,
So we talked about it on the podcast. That's when you learned about it.
yeah.
So how did you end up getting into the contest,
So I
the
signed up.
competition?
Yeah, I signed up. Their website really isn't informative about how to shoot or like what it's like. And I asked around to many people, hey, there's this like, this match, and nobody really knows about it. Uh, I really wanted to go shoot the regional match, before that real big main match,
Right.
but I couldn't make it.
Okay.
And I asked a guy who shot one in Arizona, and I didn't really get a lot of information out of it. So I honestly, up until the match day, I was like very skeptical. I thought like, oh, is this match even real? The f- uh, the day of the match, I drove up to the range, and they had actually postponed it because of the weather condition.
Right.
So um, I was not happy about it because I had planned to shoot the match and fly back on the same night. So
Okay.
basically, I changed the flight, or I bought a whole new ticket.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, and then booked another hotel. Uh, but I'm glad I did because their actual event was very festive. It was
Hmm.
coordinated very well. I wish you had gone there too. I wish everybody that I know in USPSA would have gone there. It was awesome. Their food was amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But their main theme was the celebrating the fallen heroes, the law enforcement.
Okay.
So it's like in this section you're shooting the competition. In this section there's a vendor area. In the other section it's like a hall where they make speeches and stuff. So uh, a pretty big event. There was a lot of people. But yeah, I signed up and I got an email like maybe a week before the match. I was like, hey, you're in. So okay, I pack up and went.
So where did you go though to shoot the qualification target?
Yeah, so that's the weird part and the unclear part. Uh, so I looked at the website and you can do that at home. Basically, you go out to your own home range, do it and post the results, or you can go to the regional match and qualify there.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that I get into the main match, so I wanted to shoot the regional match, but I didn't make it. So I only uploaded the just the targets,
Target.
which they accepted. So I went, but I think for the next one that they host, which they plan to be in Las Vegas, I think it's gonna be hard to get in. I think there's gonna be like a lot more people.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's gonna blow up. just because of the cash prize that they have. And
Yes.
I I talked to a lot of USPSA shooters about the match. I was like, hey, you should consider this match, going to this match. They kind of checked it out. They checked out the website, and they kind of brushed it off. They're like, I don't really know what it is, which is a pretty normal response. That was my response too. Um, so a
Did
lot of yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt. Did you see the
yeah,
video of my interview with
I did.
okay.
What's her name? Yeah, a former Olympic uh,
Yes,
athlete.
and I'm drawing a blank and I don't know why.
Yeah,
I can see her face and everything. I don't know why I can't think of her name.
her last name is
But
Barnes. I forget her
yes,
first name.
Lanny Barnes.
Lenny
Thank you.
Barnes. Yeah, yeah. I did watch it
Okay.
because I couldn't really get any information about the match.
Did that
Um,
help?
I mean, I emailed them a few times and I basically got the same information. So it was like a
Okay.
kind of like a leap of faith to go there. Yeah, I was
Okay.
skeptical, but yes, their match is pretty good. Their cash price is pretty amazing. I think it should be that way to draw a lot of good shooters. I know the next one's gonna be massive. Everyone's gonna show up. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I mean
Um,
the prize purse is 10 times what it was for this
yeah,
year. So,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
everybody's going to come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, the competition is gonna be extreme, and I think a lot of pro shooters are gonna show up. So it's gonna be a very difficult competition. This
Mhm.
one, the way they carried out the match was, they have, you checked out the match book, right? Stage one, you do that
Yep.
bullseye shooting. Stage
Yep.
two with your one hand. Three is the shoot
Behind
off.
a barricade, yeah.
Oh yeah. Three is the shoot off between each other, and then four is the same thing. I didn't make it past the first stage. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I spent 2 weeks practicing bullseye with my SIG, but when I showed up and I shot, I was just my shots were way off. I didn't make it, which is a big bummer because there was a lot of really good shooters that didn't make past the first stage. But what I also realize is you got to bring the right gun to the match. Like a lot of guys that did
Mm.
really well in the stage one, first stage, they brought like 2011, basically the open gun that has
Okay.
very good accuracy, very good trigger. So if you are thinking about going to their match next time, bring basically bring a gun that's designed for bullseye, because that's the elimination stage, and then you can think about the rest of it. Yeah, so bring an open gun without a comp.
Now,
That's the best gun you can bring.
can you switch to a different gun for each stage?
Um, I mean, it wasn't specifically written in the rule book that you're not allowed to switch, so I probably would have switched. In fact, there was one shooter that brought a gun with a comp, and one RO was like, "Hey, you can't use that." So he borrowed someone's gun. So I think you can switch. So uh, I would probably, I mean, there's really no reason to switch if you have an open gun, but I would probably use, like 2011, 1911. Platform to shoot the bullseye type, and then probably
Okay.
switch to something that you're like, for example, Canic. Yeah, for you, you would probably use Canic. But honestly, 2011 open guns, they're the easiest guns to shoot, so I would just stick with that the whole way. Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like that's probably the weakness for most USPSA shooters is that bullseye accuracy.
I mean, okay, yeah, it's probably true, but when I practiced, I was hitting bullseye just all day, all
Okay.
day. And then I show up to the match and it's just like, oh man, I didn't make past the first stage. It was very upsetting.
So what do you think the difference was?
Um, well, the thing is, So I brought two guns, P320s, and I practiced with one gun, and then with the other, it was like a backup, and basically I ended up using a different gun, and it's really hard to shoot bullseye with P320. And I think it has to do with the with the way the trigger is pulled consistently. Like I have my open gun, but it has a comp, so I couldn't bring it.
Right.
But when I shoot bullseye with it, it is just dead on, just one shot on top of another. Um, but when I use P320, for some reason, it's very difficult to do that, do bullseye with it. I don't
Now,
know
do
why.
the P320 seems like there's a lot of different, I don't want to say accessories, that's not the, but you have interchangeable grip modules. There are
Yeah.
so many different ways you can modify it. Do they have a match grade barrel insert?
I mean, they advertise their barrels as match grade, but I know personally, and a lot of like really high level P320 shooters know that there's accuracy issues with the platform. Like, I talked to basically top 10 P320 shooters, and they all are aware of the accuracy problems with the P320 platform.
Do
And
do any of them change the barrel out to an aftermarket barrel?
yeah, so like one is Isaac, he uses gray guns, and
Right.
it's totally decked out, third party match barrel.
Okay.
Gray guns, they're amazing. They know what they're doing. Bruce Gray, he helped me out with barrel fitting work for the World Shoot actually. So shout out to Bruce Gray from Gray Guns, GGI.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah, so if you go through them, they'll really work with you to accurize your P320. Um, I did hear, uh, so Gray Guns, they have like tons of factory barrels and slides that they acquire from SIG. And so they're very experienced with the platform. And they said something along the lines of the quality control kind of went downhill at some point with the barrel, especially. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a known issue. And I don't think Max is gonna comment on this, but if he was asked about this issue, he would probably agree, but he probably wouldn't say it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
probably wouldn't say it in a public forum
yeah.
either.
But I know he's had issues too, with the accuracy. So
Okay.
this is a known problem, and they should really address it.
Yeah,
Because
I would agree.
it's a good gun, it runs
It's very
flawlessly.
popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it can be very accurate, but they have to figure out their production or something. But yeah,
I was as I'm listening to you, I'm pulling up. I don't think I have it anywhere on this computer. It's probably on my other computer, but
yeah.
I actually have a picture of the target when I initially zeroed my first canic at
Okay,
25 yards.
okay,
I have a picture of a 5 shot group that
yeah,
is 1/2 inch by 3/4 inch, all
okay.
five. So it's a group about
It's ti-
literally that big, and it's five
yeah,
shots.
yeah.
But I also have a hand built
Yeah, 1911.
1911.
Yeah,
Yeah, with a match grade barrel, match sights, everything.
yeah,
But I probably still just shoot my canic.
yeah. Well,
So
yeah, I think Canik is very accurate. So
for
you
sure.
won't have any problems with it. It's just that it's light, so there's probably a
Right.
little bit of disadvantage if you're going against like CZs. Uh,
We'll have to talk about that more in a month
okay,
because
sounds
that
good.
that might change.
Oh, really? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I've seen some. leaked
Oh, the
pictures
steel.
on the internet.
This, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody knows, and I think I know a guy in Vegas who already has one.
Really?
Yeah,
That
I was
son of
like,
a.
you can try mine if you want. I'm like, what? It's released already? Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, the steel frame. I'm very excited for it. Uh, I'm probably gonna try one and maybe get one too. So we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to get one.
yeah. I'm
I'm
really
not. I'm not
glad.
gonna have a choice.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm glad Canik is like one of the companies that works with the competition shooters to make a gun, make a gun that is designed for competition, works in the competition. I think that's very
Yeah.
important. That's
At a
mainly,
reasonable price.
yeah, yeah. That's one of the reasons why I moved away from Block because they don't really, they kind of stopped innovating in a sense. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It'll be interesting for sure.
yeah.
So, well, that's what I've got. So it'll be interesting to see how everybody does in this next Prairie Fire rank and how that goes. Because, like you said, it's every single person is going to
Yeah.
want to be in on that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money involved.
Yeah, so I probably shouldn't say this because this is only going to increase competition. But if you're going, bring a 2011 platform. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to delete that right off of the.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, oh, I can. It's live, so
Yeah.
everybody knows. But okay, there we go. There's the trick.
Yeah. You're
Bring a
going to?
2011.
Are you going?
Um, I may look into. They had a regional one here, but I found out about it too late, and I
Oh,
had
I see.
injured my knee, so I would not
Okay.
have been able to compete. But
I see.
it was like an
Okay.
hour and a half from me,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I could have
Nice.
easily done that one. So I'm going to look around and see if they have a regional one because I wouldn't mind. I mean, I everything. I'm much older than you, so all I knew initially, like all my time in the military and all of that was bullseye. Rifle was bullseye,
Oh, wow.
pistol was
Okay.
bullseye. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm used to.
Okay.
I've had the problem of shooting fast because I've never done that. My entire
So,
life has always been slow.
so you actually shot a 1911 bullseye, like pistol.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Were you
Yep.
like in the team or something?
Well, so when I was in the military,
Yeah.
every year they had matches,
Okay.
and it would culminate. So you had an East Coast match, a West Coast match, and an
Yeah.
overseas match,
Yeah.
and then the winners, like the top 30 from each of those, would then come together and shoot the Marine Corps match to
Okay.
determine the overall winner. And then
Yeah.
I was on the Marine Corps rifle team in the summer of 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is probably before you were born
Yes.
or close to it.
Yeah, I was born in 93.
Yeah. So that's all it was bullseye. I mean, that's that
Okay.
picture right there behind me,
Yeah.
right there, is
It's rifle?
me shooting at a 1,000 yard line with an
Okay.
M14 and iron sights.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Good old iron
So
sights.
yeah, good old iron sight. That's all there was, man. I bought an M1 because back in like 2016, 2017, I'm like, I want to get back into shooting
Yeah.
rifle again. So I bought an M1. I'm like, I'm good to go. I go out to the range and they're all shooting M16s with scopes. And I'm like, well, I'm at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I learned
Oh,
quick that
wow.
wasn't the way to go. Everything had completely changed.
I see. I see. Yeah.
So everybody's like, who's this old guy with this old gun?
With iron sights.
Yeah. And nobody had iron sights but me.
Yeah. They
So,
all brought magnified optics.
yep. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
So, well, this was an awesome conversation. I
Yeah.
appreciate all the world shoot information.
Yeah.
So now we have 2025 to look forward to.
Yes. Hopefully it's not delayed. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Ridiculousness. So, again, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And we're going to
Thank
have
you
to do
so
this
much,
again.
Dave. Yes.